Hey, it's your girl, Claressa Gold Shields, 13-time world champion, 3-time undisputed champion, and 2-time Olympic Gold Medalist. I am on the TheOnlyKayla Podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode. I am your host, TheOnlyKayla, and my next guest, while she does not need an introduction, I am going to introduce her, okay? Today, I am so pleased to have 2-time gold medalist and undisputed champion, Claressa Shields. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. I'm really excited to interview you. So I start all my interviews with a really fun rapid fire segment, okay?
Okay, let's go.
You ready? Okay, so the first question is, who is the most famous contact in your phone, in your opinion?
In my phone, the most famous contact. Floyd Mayweather?
That's a big one.
Yeah.
That's huge. Yeah, that's a big contact. Next question is, what is your favorite post-fight meal? After a big win, what do you want to eat?
After a big win, give me the fried chicken, the yams, the mac and cheese, the dressing, the greens. If you got like some turkey neck bones, like I love soul food.
Oh, yeah, me too.
And I'm not able to eat soul food throughout camp.
So it's safe to say that after this win, that is what you're going to get.
Fried chicken on deck.
Where's the best fried chicken?
You know what? The best fried chicken that I've had is either Gus's Fried Chicken in Nashville, Tennessee, or it's Yardbird Tabernacle in Miami, Florida. Like, they have really good chicken.
I got to go there. I've been dying to go to Nashville, so I got to check it out next time I go.
Gus's famous chicken, you're going to love it.
Next question is, what is your biggest pet peeve?
You wouldn't even believe it, but like people talking at the gym.
Really? Like while you're working out?
Like when I go to the gym and I'm getting ready to train, I like to actually train. I don't like talking. Like when I'm shadowboxing, you see some guy like they be talking to each other or, you know, talking before they get ready to, like while they getting dressed, they talking. I don't know. Like when I get to the gym, I kind of just
want to work out.
Yeah, I don't want to talk.
Yeah.
Like I don't even want to talk on the break bill. It's like I just want to lock in on training. Because I've been to gyms where all they do is talk. Like everybody's gloved up, they're hitting the bag, they're talking to each other, they're doing crunches, they're talking, like they're doing push-ups, and they're just talking. And in my head, I'm like, shut the fuck up. Be quiet, work. Because I don't believe that you can work as hard as you need to work if you're talking.
Yeah, chit-chatting.
Yeah, that's probably my biggest pet peeve in not having matching socks. Like if my socks don't match, it probably throws me off a little bit.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So now you see Claressa training and working out. She's not here to talk, okay? She's here to work out and get it in, all right? I love that. All right, so the next question might be a little bit hard, but I would love to know, in your opinion, who would you say is the best boxer of all time?
Muhammad Ali.
Great answer.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of great fighters, but when you say the greatest of all time, the best boxer in the world, I have to say it's Muhammad Ali. Like, his whole life to me, like a person who lives on after they pass away, you know, and somebody's voice that you hear, it just gives you chills.
Yeah.
It's not another world champion who voices like that, who's that moving as Muhammad Ali's to me.
I love that. And the last two questions are, what's the best advice that you've gotten so far within your career? If you look back and say, wow, that was really good advice.
You know, I always kind of go back to this. My best advice that I've gotten was from Andre Ward. I remember when I turned pro and after I won the 2 Olympic gold medals, and I had my first few TV fights, and I was like trash talking a girl, I remember. But it was because, hey, I did it for good reason. But I remember Andre calling me. He was like, Andre Ward, he was like, you don't got to be like that if that's not you. Like, don't let them make you be like a trash talker. You know, be who you want to be. And then he asked me, like, is that really you or is it just a persona? And I said, that's me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why you thought it wasn't, you know, but if a girl talks trash to me, I'm going to talk trash back, and I'm actually pretty good at it. And he was like, oh, well, do your thing then. He just called to ask me, like, was it really me, or was I feeling like I had to put on a persona to get like the views and the eyes and stuff? And I was like, I don't really care about that stuff. At the time I didn't, and a little bit now I really don't. But it just was like, at the time I was being my complete self, And he just like called me, was like, you know, you don't have to change to please nobody. So him actually calling and me and him having that conversation actually made me be like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep being myself, even though on the outside people were trying to tell me to change and not trash talk and not be mean and be nice to my opponents. I just have to keep telling everybody, like, nobody wants to see that. Like, we're two girls getting ready to fight, two women, and y'all want us hugging and kissing on each other. Like, oh, girl, I love you so much. I love your clothes. You're so cute. You're such a good boxer. Like, nobody wants to see that. Like, I want to see two girls fight and two guys fight who don't like each other, who have something against each other. Like, I don't want to see two girls who are, oh, you're so cute. Give me a hug. Like, I
want to knock you out.
I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think that women, in your opinion, do you think that women get more backlash when they are trash talking than men in boxing?
Yeah, absolutely. Women get more backlash for everything, you know, especially like when I first turned pro, women boxers, that they were like, when I started talking trash, they were like, yo, you know, and I was told by my manager, by my agent at the time, to just stop trash talking and to, it's not ladylike, and to find a happy medium, like be mean but be nice. And I told them, and I had to really say this in the most nicest and humblest way that I could say it, like, I don't work for y'all. Y'all work for me. Y'all don't tell me how to be. Talking about I can't trash talk. Who wrote that rule? Like my job is to sell the fight, right? So y'all job is to promote. My job is to sell the fight and then get inside the ring and perform. So don't tell me how to do my job.
Right.
So when my team got an understanding of that, look, she gonna run the show her way, and we just gonna have to sit there and be supportive unless I do something straight just crazy, you know?
Right, yeah.
But I'm like, trash talk is not something that's just crazy. So I'm like, if the men do it, why is it a big thing that I do it? It's like we're building the fight, we're selling the fight. So it shouldn't be looked upon or frowned upon because I'm a woman. It's like I'm a woman boxer, woman champion. If a guy who never won a gold medal can talk trash about and you know, talk about how good of a boxer he is and how great he is, and he ain't got no gold medal, you're not gonna tell me,
right?
And I got 2 Olympic gold medals that I can't trash talk, and I can't say how great I am, but he can say how great he is,
right?
Like, no. So I really came into the sport of women's boxing and changed the whole trajectory because I really did it my way. And a lot of women before me were judged the same way. Mm-hmm. And they, you know, bowed down to those rules, you know.
So it's good. So you came in and were like, listen, this is who I am. Regardless of what you guys think, this is who I am. I'm going to stand on it. And I think that's awesome. You know, I do think that's awesome because the truth is the men do it. Mm-hmm. Why can't the women do it? You know, you guys are in the same exact sport. You guys are giving it your all. You guys are putting your life on the line every time you get in the ring. And on top of that, because there's people who trash talk and don't really have nothing to show for it, but you could trash talk because you got a lot to show for it.
Yeah, a lot of belts.
They don't call you the GOAT for no reason.
A lot of belts, a lot of money. And I mean, I got the accolades. Like, I have beat the best in 3 different weight classes. And now on July 27th, I fight for the 4th weight class at heavyweight. And this is going to be huge. Just something else to solidify my legacy. Like, look, if you guys thought I wasn't... Like, size does matter, but only if you don't really know how to fight.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm sure you've seen this. Tell me, how does it feel? Roy Jones Jr., legend, said that you are the face of women's boxing, and you are.
Yeah.
What does it feel like to you to not just, because obviously, you know, you growing up and watching these legends, but now these are your peers. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So how does it feel for you to hear a legend like that say that you're the face of women's boxing?
He said a lot, you know. He said I was the face. I had, you know, the best skill.
Yeah,
and,
the best overall skill.
Yeah, the best complete fighter out of the women's division. And he's right, you know, but he's not the first to say that. Terrence Crawford says that. Skakur Stevenson says that. Mike Tyson told me I was the best female fighter he's ever watched or seen fight. It's valid, you know, and... I've already known that. I just continue to try to be better, but to hear it from those guys, it really never gets old, you know. It shows me that I'm doing something right as I continue to just get better, you know, to where, like, the compliments can just be I guess more, but that was good enough for me. And he's always said that since he first saw me fight. And I love Roy Jones. You know, that's why I'm jumping up 2 weight classes from middleweight to heavyweight, because he did it. He's one of the last boxers to be able to actually jump from middleweight to heavyweight. So now I'm a female, but I'm jumping from middleweight to heavyweight to try to do the same thing that he did, and that's be successful and win a world title.
Also, it's going to be such an exciting fight. Your fight's in just a few days. You are fighting in your hometown. Now, we just saw Jaron Ennis make history in his hometown, and it was such an exciting night. What does this mean to you to be coming back and fighting in your hometown?
Hey, it's always great to fight in Detroit. You know, I'm only 45 minutes away from there, and they have adopted me as their own. You know, I got Buffs, I got Wrapped Up by Cash Doll. You know, like, Detroit loves me, and they've been supportive this whole time. So that to fight at Little Caesars and be the only boxer to do it this far as the main event, you know, it's huge. And I can't wait to go out there and perform and show them why, you know, Michigan has the best boxers in the world.
Yeah. Now, because you're fighting at home, does the way you win matter? In terms of, like, are you looking to get that knockout because obviously you're home, or are you just looking to secure the win?
Honestly, for this fight, I have done nothing but train for the knockout this fight. And I haven't had camps like that. This is the only camp that I've had where it's like, sit on your punches, work on landing the big shots and sparring, only throwing the punches that you need to throw, turning your punches over. Like this has been one of the camps where I'm like focusing completely on just not just dominating, but like finishing the job. So sparring has been tough, and I've had to see what I can do in sparring, and I have gotten better and better each time I've gotten in the ring. So I've never had a fight that wasn't entertaining. You know, I don't go through that. I've never went through that. I have great walkouts. I get performed out. People love it. I know what the crowd want. I know what they like. I know that when I get into the fight, hey, if the girl don't start the party hitting me, I'm gonna start the party hitting her. So I always get it cracking in my fights. It's gonna be some blood. It's gonna be some big punches. You're gonna see me going for the knockout all the time. So winning is first, but of course I would love to get the KO just because I want another KO on my record. Yeah.
That's awesome. I can't wait. It's just a few days away. Now, tell me, because now you're going up to heavyweight, have any of your daily regimens changed in terms of like routine? Like you had mentioned before, you're sparring differently. What are some of the things that you're doing training-wise differently this time around?
Sparring bigger and stronger people. Lifting the weights, squatting some pounds. Weight training. Drinking protein and stuff, and like the recovery. But I can also say too, like this camp, I've been able to eat pho as much as I want, which I love.
That's awesome.
I love noodles.
And I'm sure cutting weight is probably normally like really grueling.
It's the most draining part of any fight. I have gotten used to it. I'm used to having to drop 30 and 25 pounds to fight at 160. But to not have to drop that much weight for this fight is kind of like I'm a bit relieved.
Yeah, it's a good feeling.
Yeah.
Now, we had mentioned earlier that you were labeled, well, you are the face of women's boxing. Tell me, what expectations come with being the face of women's boxing?
I don't know what expectations come. I just go out there and do what I do.
What you do.
Yeah, I don't let people put those type of pressures on me. Because if you live by compliments, you'll die by insults. So it's like I don't too much care about the outside compliments or the outside insults. I kind of just care about how I feel. And what I see. If I watch a fight and I say, you know what, you did bad that fight. I can have that conversation with myself, right?
Yeah.
And I can go back to the gym and I can work on it. But most of the time, even in sparring or even in my fights, I say, dang, I wish I could have done better. And everybody else is telling me that I done perfect.
Yeah.
And I did great. So it's like, I kind of just like to, I don't know, just be in constant conversation with myself and push myself to my best limits And to me, that's the expectation that I have. I don't really know what the expectation that others have of me, but I can't put my expectations of others on them either. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I try to just keep it within myself, you know. And I only listen to a few people on the outside give me constructive criticism because I don't accept insults at all, you know. And compliments, people have 1,000 reasons to compliment you, you know. Some people want you to feel good. Some people want some money. Some people want to be a friend.
Yeah, they have
so they'll tell you some lies and stuff. So I don't really get too caught up in the compliments and things either. As long as I'm happy with myself, I just kind of keep it like that.
Would you consider yourself a perfectionist?
I would consider myself a person. I'm a goal setter. So I set goals for myself and I attack them. You know, but I don't think there's no perfect boxer, you know. Every time I fight, I got a 10% chance of me getting knocked out. And I just go in there and do my best to make sure that it doesn't happen. But there's nothing perfect about a fighter because there's so many variables. You know, I can go in there first round and get thumbed in the eye and then can't see out that eye for the rest of the fight. Either they're going to stop the fight or I'm going to fight through it. You know, you got that's a fight or flight moment. And I always choose to fight. But sometimes, you know, I just feel like ain't nothing perfect. I just like to work hard and prove myself right.
Yeah.
You know, I am the best fighter in the world. There are some that disagree, but it's my job to make them believers. So with that, I just work hard, get better, and outdo my last performance. If I outdo my last performance, I don't really care about how the fight went.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree. Now, what do you think a boxer has to do to become the face of the sport?
You know what? First thing first, to become the face, you have to win. You got to fight against the best. And then after you win and you fight against the best, while doing all that, you have to build your brand. I don't think people talk enough about brand building, like about your actual brand. You know, what you do, like how you're portrayed.
Right.
You know, and right now, social media, like we live in a time of social media, so it matters. You know, the more followers you have, the more respect you get, right? The more endorsements, sponsorships, more eyes, more you can sell merchandise and things of that nature. So, with that, I tell everybody just to build their brand. Like, this is one of those times where if you want to be the face of something, you got to have a good brand. You got to be a winner. You got to have world titles. And you have to be a good role model. Right. You know, honestly, like, I'm so happy we're talking about that you mentioned this. Somebody who was perfect. I mean, had the perfect. When I talk about the brand, the wins, the brand, the wins, the whole package. It was Ryan Garcia. Until he just messed it all up. He had the looks. He had the wins. He had the adversity. He had the comeback story. And even after the PED case, he was still somewhat like, you know what, he can still be the face.
He can still come back. He can redeem himself.
Because nobody's really that mad about it. You know, like we're just kind of, people are overlooking it. And then he went on this rant about George Floyd and talking about Devin Haney's hair. And then he just went to this whole racist thing. And he just messed himself up. But talking about having a complete package, I looked at him like, dang, he kind of got it.
And it's funny you mentioned that because I was going to ask you too earlier when we were talking about trash talking is, at what point is it too far? Is it too much?
I think trash talk goes too far when you bring in family, when you bring in kids. Yeah. I think that's when trash talk goes too far. You know,
keep it between you and that person.
Yeah, me being a woman fighter, like I've gotten to it with guys, you know, and I've trash talked them. They've trash talked me. Cool. Same thing with women. But when your energy goes from, okay, me and you arguing, it's between me and you, and for whatever differences that we have. But then when your energy goes off of me, and now you're talking about my mom and my dad and my fiance and my sister and my brothers and my cousins,
now we got a problem.
You know, now it's like because they didn't grow up in this whole, I am taught to just talk, you know, build the fight, get under your skin, piss you off, you know.
Right.
But they're not. So when you go talking to mamas and daddies and brothers and doing stuff to disrespect them, they have a whole different lifestyle. So when you say something to my sister, like, yeah, I kick your ass like I do your sister, you know, or y'all family can't fight and you ugly, like whatever you want to say to my family, and then my family reacts, that's why you should have kept the energy between me and you, because my sister is not a boxer, but she is a professional ass kicker, right? So it's like, she don't got no rules. She ain't got no image to uphold. She don't give a damn.
So she will drag you up and down.
Yeah, so she gonna run up and get the punch in you, and then I'm gonna be sitting there looking like, yo, trash talk should have been between me and whoever my team is. Right? Not me and my family, you know. And I think that people go too far in arguments when they talk about kids. That's something that I don't do. Like, I do my trash talk, but I leave people's families out of it. And I don't talk about kids. I have never been one to do that.
So speaking about Ryan Garcia, how do you feel about his recent remarks?
I don't like him, you know, but before he had those racist remarks, he was in my DM.
I saw that.
You know?
Saying that you guys should have a kid together. It would be a superhuman.
A superhuman baby.
Yeah. How did that make you feel?
When?
When he slid into your DMs.
I was like, I found it disrespectful. Why? Because I'm engaged and my rock is bigger than his head. So... It's like, I found it disrespectful. And then also, too, it's just like, what was that? Was that just because what were you drinking? And you thought about me one night or something? Right. I don't know. But I am hot stuff, though. So I do understand him wanting to, you know. I get it. But it's still just like, don't go about it that way, you know, and have some respect. But then it went from... oh, let's have a super kid, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you're ugly, you're mean, you're this, you're that, your mom this, your dad that. Like, he just went spiraling. And then when I didn't give him the attention he wanted, which was he wanted to jump on my space where I had like 1,000 people on my Twitter space. Yeah. And he was on there listening because I was just showing people like the DM, like, look what this boy DM me. And I was just talking about, like, you know, he needs help, blah, blah, blah. And he's DMing me, like, let me on a space, you devil.
Oh, my gosh.
Like, you won't even let me on. You won't even give me a chance to talk. And I was actually reading the DMs while I was on the space. I was laughing. And I knew it was triggering for him because all he wanted was attention.
A reaction.
And he wanted to get the attention and the reaction out of me. And instead of me giving it to him, he just sat there and he kept requesting to get on my space, and I kept declining it. And then he just jumped on his space and started yelling like, Claressa Shields, you didn't even let me get on the space. He just started going crazy, and I just was having a great time that day because I thought it was pretty funny. But at the same time, it's just like, he does need help. But also, too, just because you have a mental problem, like, that don't make you racist either. So something that he said about George Floyd kind of lives deep down inside of him. And he needs to get that fixed or just stay away from black people.
Yeah. Do you think that he really has some sort of substance problem or mental health problems, or do you think that he's doing this for show?
I kind of feel like it's all three. He wants attention.
Okay.
Because he's used to having attention. Like I said, with his brand, he got millions of followers, you know.
He's got a big brand,
But he had a brand of followers, people that loved him. Now it's different because now his following don't love him. Like, it's kind of a mixture. You got your supporters, you have your people you have your haters now. And sometimes the haters can be way louder than the supporters. So that can be hard to deal with, especially having millions and millions of followers. He used to everybody kind of, oh, Ryan this, Ryan that, giving Ryan grace. And now nobody's giving you grace because you're a grown man. You need to be held accountable. You need to apologize and actually stand on your word. Mm-hmm. So I think it's a part of him wanting attention, part of him drinking, and it's just a part of him. Maybe he's just, I think he's not a bad person, but he has some bad ways, you know. Yeah. Like we all got a person inside of us who we need to fix. If there's anybody in this world who says they don't, they're lying. Like, I have things inside of me that I need to fix, right? But I'm only going to fix it on my time. And I know what it is, unless something else comes up. But I continue to work on myself to where I can fix those things. When you're somebody like, him who won't work on the inner him and figure out what's the matter, what's wrong. Like, how do you get better from not just the alcohol, but like, why do you feel away about black people? It can stem from something that happened to them. You know, like, I used to feel a way about girls who had parents. And it was like, so I was a kid growing up, and whenever a girl was like popular at school and had like a great mom and came to school with her hair done and her clothes on, it wasn't that I didn't like her. I just was like, dang, like, what makes her so special to where she gets that but I don't? But that was me having to look at myself and be like, you can't be mad at someone because they have a great mom, dummy. Like, get it together. But it was something that was brewing inside of me, and I had to really acknowledge that and then fix that. And how did I fix that? I had talks with myself, and I became friends with girls who had great parents, you know, and just see how it was. And even though it looked like it was all peaches and cream, hey, they went through their stuff too. Yeah. You know, it just wasn't visible, you know. So I just was like, you know what, sometimes you got to take the cards that's dealt to you and deal them out the best way that you can and play your hand right. So, but I've been looking at myself and trying to fix the problems within myself for a very long time, you know. So I was able to overcome that and kind of look at myself like, you know, like that was from a kid thinking, you know, of being like, dang, I wish I had me a mom who did my hair and bought me nice clothes and did things for me. So that made me feel a way about girls who had that. But as I, you know, kept growing, I'm like, well, I can't be mad at them for that. Like, that's what God blessed them with. Mm-hmm. And God blessed me with fighting skills. So that's like them being mad because I can fight and they can't. Yeah. You know, so just having those self-talks and seeing what's really inside you is how I became, you know, how I got better at those things. And he needs to do that, like self-reflect and just be better.
What was that like for you dealing with that and growing up as a little child?
You know,
because it was an honest feeling that you had.
Yeah, you know, I like to ask myself, where do these feelings come from? You know, like, I had dealt with a lot of anger coming up. I was sexually abused as a kid. I was raped when I was 5.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and and I had went through like not having a whole lot of food, you know, me preparing for the Olympics and me not having a house to, like, I had a house to live in, but I didn't have a bed, you know, but I'm going to these tournaments and I'm having to put on this smile on this face, but really I'm fighting because I really want to get out of my situation. Yeah. You know, boxing is going to change my life. If I make it to the Olympics, if I stay undefeated, I'm going to get everything that I want and need, you know, from life. You know, so I had a lot of trauma and stuff. But as I got, like, I just kind of dealt with one thing at a time. And I gave myself grace. You know, people would always be like, why are you so mad? Why are you so angry? And I'll just be like, sometimes you don't know.
Right, you don't know.
You know, you don't know. But it's like, it's a time to where you would really have to sit there and ask yourself, why are you so angry? And then you think about all the reasons you have to be angry. And then you realize how you can fix them and not be angry. And it's about choosing, do you want to be happy or not? Do you want to be angry or do you want to be happy? And I decided that, you know what? I was angry because of what happened to me, which I couldn't control. But now that I am of age now, I am choosing to be happy. So I have to find a way to deal with this anger. So I have plenty of ways that I deal with anger. I have a diary. I talk to my pastor all the time. I pray. I listen to, like when I get real mad, I listen to gospel music. Because that's the only thing that calmed me down. Music. Oh, Tasha Cobb Leonard steals my heart every time.
I just interviewed her. She is amazing.
Is she? Oh my! Yes. Tell her I love her. I've listened to her music for like the past 10 years. Like I came out to one of her songs, "Fill Me Up."
Oh, "Fill Me Up." I
came out to that for one of my fights, that song. And it's just like she make hit after hit after hit. Does, yeah. The girl is anointed.
Yeah, I love her. I put that song on too when I'm just having a day. Mm-hmm. I'm like, God, I need help, and I put that song on, and it definitely balances me for sure.
But you see that you acknowledge that you need help, and sometimes your friends can't help you, your family can't help you. The only person that can help you is God.
Amen.
So when you know that it's certain stuff that you can't fix.
Oh.
And I had realized that there's a lot of things that I can't fix, and I take a lot of problems to God. Because he'd be like, if I handle it, I'm going to go to jail. I need to let God handle it because he can do a way better job than me.
Yeah. He's always going to do a better job than us. You know what I mean? Because if it's for us, you know, we'll deal with it the way we want to deal with it. But God is like, in due
I got
time,
it.
my child, in due time, I got it. And we always end up seeing those moments, which I think is amazing.
For sure.
Now, do you think that because of everything that you've been through in your life, you have such an amazing story? Just it's so inspiring, especially given all the trauma that you said you've experienced, and to see where you're at today and to how you were able to take that and really just turn it into like your strength. You know what I mean? Do you think that your personality gets misconstrued often because people don't really understand you or know what you've gone through or even know your story, you know?
My movie comes out about my life.
I can't wait.
12/25. It'll be in theaters all over the world. I think that my personality and who I am and just my love for boxing and just my grit, my hard work always gets misconstrued with people. Like they always paint the wrong narrative.
Yeah.
You know, and they always try to mix up and try to put this story together that they think makes sense. When it's like, that's not what happened. That's not how I feel. That's not who I am. But once again, that's why I don't let my world run off of compliments. So I can't too much care about insults, right? It's just because, hey, 1 minute the fans are 100% behind you.
Listen,
they love what you're doing, love how you're doing it, and then the next minute you throw a wrong punch, you say something you're not supposed to say in an interview that they disagree with. Now those fans flip a whole nother way.
We see what's happening with Skakur Stevenson.
And he ain't do nothing.
That's what I'm saying. He's such a great fighter, and yet they're giving him so much backlash.
Shakur is a great fighter and a great kid,
and I'm like, guys, what? Like, I don't get it.
He's a great person. That's my brother, you know? And he ain't no bad dude. He's a great fighter. But people, I always have to say this, people think that they can have an opinion about you, but then when you have an opinion about them, you're wrong.
Right.
It's like maybe we should all keep our opinions to ourselves. Because you can't sit here and say, hey, bro, even though you got great boxing skills, you're a shitty fighter to me. I think you should throw more punches. And then if he go on your page and be like, hey, bro, you got a YouTube page and you've had it for 10 years, but you got 1,000 subscribers, I think you should go find a new job. Now, he's wrong. But you just called him a trash fighter, and this boy got 3-time division world champion, silver medal at the Olympics, one of the best fighters in the world right now. The only threat to Tank Davis right now is Shakur. And you just told this man he's a shit fighter, and he spends every day in the gym trying to get better and be a great fighter. But you can say that to him, but then when he comes back at you and say something, now you are ready to go, you know, commit suicide, or now you're hurt and you're sad. But no one thinks about how the celebrity feel, because we're just supposed to be immune to take these punches and all these verbal abuse. So but that's why, like I said, I'm like here with it when it like come to the fans and when it come to the insults and the compliments, because 1 minute everybody for you, and then the next minute they not. You got to worry about what are you to yourself. And for me, I'm always Team Shields, always Team Quote, no matter what. You know, I can do some bad stuff, still gonna be Team Quote. I'm gonna have grace to myself. I can do some great things. I can be misjudged, throw a bad punch, and I can be like, you know what, we'll do better tomorrow. You know, I'm not hard on myself to where it's like, oh, if you mess up one time, your whole life is over. If like the fans don't like you or you have a bad fight, your whole career is over. I just don't live like that, because I don't think nobody should live like that off of me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, I always say, like, in the sport of boxing, it's like they will build you up today and tear you down tomorrow. Like, there's just no in between. And at the end of the day, people can make comments, but we outside the ring. We are outside the ring. It don't matter what we say at the end of the day. We have our opinions, and we can give our opinions. But if you could dish it, make sure you could take it.
Yes.
And the other thing is, we outside the ring.
Yeah.
We are not inside the ring. So it's easy for me to say, Claressa, you should have done this or you should have done that in the ring. But am I in the ring? Am I fighting?
But that's why it was just so confusing to me, like Cameron and Mace coming at Shakur. And you know, and that's another pet peeve I got. People who ain't never gloved up, ain't never been inside the ring talking about fighters. You can talk about them, but when it comes to the disrespect of a fighter, I don't think not male or female should not ever say, if you ain't never trained boxing or got in the ring and sparred nobody, fought nobody, all the opinions you have about me, you should keep them to yourself. How you feel about me, you should keep it to yourself, because you don't know how hard I work to get to where I'm at. Like, Skakur is Olympic silver medalist. I'm a 2-time Olympic champ. So it'd be like, when I get to talking to people, it'd be like, hold on now. Roy Jones speaks highly of me. Mike Tyson. You know, like, Terrence Crawford. So it's like,
Another legend.
So if you ain't, it's like, you need to have a resume to speak about me a certain way.
Right.
And if you don't have a boxing resume to where you've been in the ring, you won a belt, you fought, you've conquered, you've been at, you know, you had to go through some stuff to get a win, you should never tell me that I can't box and that I'm trash. And I tell people, like, I just keep it short. If you ain't went to the Olympics, I should really not care about what you got to say, for real. Because you know what it takes to go to the Olympics?
Right.
I won a gold medal at 17. I didn't say 20.
Yeah, I said 17.
I was 17 years
old.
old.
You was a baby. That's a baby.
Like, I had just had my sweet 16 and then 17. So it was like...
Yeah. Like, so, you know who you're talking to? Just
you gotta have a certain resume to speak on me.
So I want to talk about your promotion company, T-Rex Promotions. Now tell me, what are some of the biggest challenges entering the promotion space?
Really, it wasn't a big challenge for me. I mean, like the paperwork was something, and then just knowing that I'm gonna have fighters get signed to me and being understanding of what their goals are. So I've only signed 2 fighters so far: Jaquan McAirway from Flint, Michigan, and Samantha Kitchen from Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky. And me and Samantha came up together. We were in the amateurs together. We fought the Olympic trials together. She came and watched me win gold 2016. So we're very close, actually. And she has done quite well for herself in boxing. So I feel like I'm that missing puzzle piece for her, because she knows how to fight. She's ranked number 3 at 140 pounds. So she's right there to becoming a world champ. I felt like I just wanted to sign her to my promotion to give her some help and show her the blueprint to how I got to where I am today. You know, like to give her some gems and give her some guidance, you know, so it won't be as hard for her, you know, but she will have to fight and win, of course.
Right.
But I think if we start the whole her brand thing, getting her followers up there, getting her fans up there, getting the fans to know her, I think that she'll be one of the next top women boxers in the world, and she'll have a huge fan base, and she'll be able to, you know, one day fight and build herself up to where she has her own promotional company. Yeah. So that's how you kind of keep women's boxing going, by bringing up other women boxers, because I'm going to retire at 38, and then after that, you know, we got to have somebody else coming up.
Yeah, and you want your legacy to live on. And
for
what
sure.
better mentor to have than for it to be you, Claressa?
Exactly, especially in the women's division.
So you wouldn't fight Jake Paul?
I would if he wanted to get his ass kicked, for sure.
So you think you could beat Jake Paul?
I've invited him to the gym a couple times to spar me. He'll never do it.
You think he's scared of you?
He should be.
I would love to see that. I think you guys would break all types of records.
I would be scared of me if I was Jake Paul. 100%.
Period. And the last question is, what's the best lesson you learned from a failure?
The best lesson I learned from a failure was the clock keep on ticking. You know, you feel like when like something don't go your way, you lose at something, you feel like the world just end. And then you go to sleep and you wake up and you're like, yeah, yesterday you failed, but look, you still got today. So do you just continue to live in failure, or do you move forward and be better? So I learned that failure is today, but winning is tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the hard things for you to get your mind out of failing. You know, you have a failed marriage, failed relationship, failed boxing match. You know, I remember when I lost the fight to Savannah in the amateurs, and I had never lost before. so losing, and now, I don't know, like 26-1, and I just felt so defeated. And I want the whole world to stop and just kind of like cater to me. And it was just like, psych, world going to keep on going. And everybody cares about you losing, and they're going to talk about it as much as you don't want to hear it. So what do? I had to block out the noise and prepare for the Olympics, you know. And me doing that, that's why I said failure is today, winning is tomorrow, because I spent every day making sure that I won the day. And then when I got to the Olympics and when I started fighting, I was like, see, failure was yesterday.
Yeah.
Winning is today.
Yeah.
You know, so I put in the hard work. I blocked everything out. And I realized that the world don't stop because
you're going through something.
Because you're going through something, because you lost. Like, the world they don't give a damn.
Yeah.
I mean, you care.
Yeah.
But the world don't. And if it was up to you, and if it was up to the world, if it was up to your haters, you'll be a loser every day. And they will be great with that. And they'll be great with telling you, hey, what up, loser? Hey, what up? You lost the other day. Like,
isn't that horrible? Like,
yeah, it's terrible, but it's like, you know, what did Kendrick say? Sometimes you got to pop out and show niggas.
That was like literally the perfect. Seriously, I mean, listen.
I wanted to meet Drake.
Are you a Drake fan?
Yeah, I'm a Drake and Kendrick fan, but Kendrick winning right now.
And you know what's so... No, listen, I'm the biggest Drake fan. And I even have a segment that I play with all my guests called 6 p.m. in Atlanta. And it's Drake inspired. But like now I'm like, they're kind of bullying me to not be a Drake fan. But I'm still a Drake fan. But I'm just saying. I'm
no,
just
you can be a Drake fan. He got great music. He's a great artist.
I'm still a Drake fan. But now when they see me out with my Drake shirt, they're like, they give me one of those like.
You better never go to Cell Block 1.
Right. No, I have people calling me.
Nah, Kendrick went crazy. He went crazy. Like, you know what? I knew Kendrick was gonna win the whole little thing.
What made you think that he was gonna win?
Once J. Cole dropped out, I said, oh.
And you know, I didn't even think of that.
I was stressed though. I was stressed because I'm like, when J. Cole came, first of all,
I love J. Cole.
J. Cole is the coldest. You ain't got to hear about him for 2 years. He come and drop something. It's number one.
Yeah, it's going
like
platinum.
He went harder on Dirk, on his song, than Dirk went on that All My Life.
Yeah.
His words hit harder than Dirk's, and it was Dirk's song.
Yeah.
Like, I understand why you got to pay him $1 million for a verse. I get it.
He's a lyricist.
I get it.
Yeah, he's a
like
lyricist.
His words hit you to the heart. So when I seen J. Cole come back and was like, you know, he came back with his little spiel. And then the next day he was like, oh, no, I'm out the beef. I'm good.
He apologized and everything.
Because he wanted everybody to get along.
You ever done hit somebody when you was a kid and you looked up was like, I shouldn't have hit that person. That's what happened. He took a swing at somebody and he thought it was going to land. And then I think Kendrick said, oop, and hit him with the boop, boop. And then I think he realized, like, oh, this ain't a fight I want to be in.
Yeah.
And he dropped out because he already seen, like, man, he about to murder Drake. And he did.
Well, thank you so much, Claressa. I had an amazing time interviewing you. I am so excited for your fight, July 27th. Tell everybody where they can find you on social media. Tell them where they can watch your fight.
July 27th in Detroit at Little Caesars Arena. Come and watch me fight live on DAZN. If you can't make it, watch me live on DAZN. And I'm Claressa Shields on social media.